Hello again, Mountain Lions, and welcome back to the Red Mountain Radio. As per usual, I'm your host, Brooklyn Anaya, and today we've got another spring sport for you. In this episode, we explore the RMHS tennis team. For those of you who haven't listened in before, in the Spring Sports Insider, we'll discuss everything surrounding high school sports by getting first-hand personal accounts from the athletes themselves. If you're curious for more, check out our last episode, which features Luca Erickson and Caleb Haskett from the boys volleyball team. Our athlete interview for this episode is with tennis. Visiting the podcast today are athletes of varsity sophomore Christina Westover and a JV sophomore Lincoln Hall. Let's take a listen to that conversation. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Christina Westover.
Hi.
And Lincoln Hall.
Hello.
From the tennis team. So, Christina, you're from the girls' tennis team, and Lincoln, you're from the boys' tennis team. And tennis is such a fun sport to watch. It's very popular in Europe, not so much here in the United States, but it's such a high-intensity, quick sport that takes so much skill. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about tennis?
All right, so the scoring of tennis is a little bit funky. So you do 2 sets. Sets are 6 games, and the scoring of the games go love, 15, 30, 40, and then you win. But let's say both teams get to 40-40, then you call that deuce, and because you have to win by 2. So it goes deuce, and then say you win the point, and it goes to add in, and if you win again, then you win the thing. But if you don't, you go back to deuce, and let's say they win a point, you say add out on the score, and then if they score, they win.
So there's also this thing, like, if you, in a game, there's, like, pro sets and sets, and on varsity, you play 2-6, and if you're both at 6-6, then you have to play a tiebreaker, which is, well, it's really complicated. The person who last serves again. They serve once, and then you switch side. The other person serves twice on the deuce side, and then on the add side, other way around. And then you just go back and forth, and you win by 2, either by 7, first to 7, or first to 10, depending on which set you're in.
And that's only for a tiebreaker situation, or is that for
yes.
all? Oh, interesting. So it's kind of, when you think about it, the scoring is a little bit like volleyball. You have to win by 2 points, like that?
Yeah, and you also have to win by 2 games, so it makes it interesting, a lot of fun.
Cool. So, you guys, obviously, are on the tennis team, and Christina, you're varsity, right?
Yeah.
Varsity as a sophomore? That is really interesting. And Lincoln, you're on JV for tennis?
Yeah.
Awesome. And that probably takes a lot of dedication. Tennis is not just an anybody sport. It takes a lot of practice and skill to really get good at tennis. So can you guys tell me a little bit more about how you guys kind of got into the whole tennis world and what made you so attracted to the sport in the first place?
I love tennis because last year I had never played tennis before, never picked up a racket. And then I loved pickleball and ping pong. I just loved playing them. They're like my favorite things to do. So I was like, I'll try tennis. It's a fun alternative instead of doing track to stay in shape for football. And I loved it right away. It was so much fun. I didn't really quite understand it the first year. And then this year I'm understanding a lot more, and it's a lot more fun to play.
I got started for tennis during COVID. It was, like, one of the only sports that we could do. Since, like, I played, like, 3 months of clinic, and then didn't play for a year, tried out for team, made it, surprisingly, haven't played since, and tried out for this year. That's, like, my history in tennis. Also, my dad played when he was in high school.
Interesting. So you were more inspired because of this situation. You know, it was COVID time, you needed to get out of the house, and then your dad was like, hey, I did it, you should do it too. So it's kind of like a family thing in that sense. And then you, Lincoln, you just thought it looked fun, which is completely respectable, right? That's how some of the best people get into sports. And next thing, tennis, as you guys were mentioning when you were explaining the rules, it's more of a one-on-one sport, right? It's kind of individual when you look at it. Every team has a sense of camaraderie or something that keeps the team together. You know, most teams are team sports, like soccer. You have 11 people on the field, or football. What is it, like 10 people on the field? 12?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, a number. But everybody's there together. While in tennis, you're kind of alone. How do both of the tennis teams, boys and girls, help to foster that friendship and closeness between players, even though you guys are competing individually?
So we try to, like, cheer each other on in between our matches. like support each other. You can't really cheer during a point, but afterwards, if it's like a good point, we had a good shot, we'll just be like, hey, nice job. So like that support. And we have like doubles teams too, so like you have a good relationship with that person that you can play doubles with, because you have to really understand them, understand how they play and how their like mindset is.
And I would say in the tennis season, we have a lot of games. So traveling to away games on the bus, just talking with everybody, having fun, like making jokes and stuff like that helps keep up the camaraderie too.
Every sport has coaches, and some coaches are really awesome. They help uplift you, they help steer you in the right direction for your athletic career, and some coaches, well, let's just say they're not the most fun. And for the boys and girls tennis team, you guys have different coaches, yes? Right?
Yeah.
And on the topic of camaraderie, how do these coaches help the team come together when times get tough or when times get really good and bring the team together closer to make Red Mountain Tennis what it is? What are your coaches like?
My coach is Terry Graves. He's an art teacher here, and he's just super energetic. He loves tennis. It's his passion, and he's always just cheering on us and then always getting us in like huddles and stuff, and then we do like super loud cheers. He's just always energetic, high-spirited, always fun, and that kind of brings us together and keeps it fun.
We have 2 coaches for varsity and 2 coaches for JV. For varsity, we have Coach Kober and Coach Kendra. And for JV, there's Coach Mead and Coach Chad. So mostly for varsity, like last year, we had Coach Benza. She organized like team activities that we would do to bring the team together. We played pickleball. It was super fun. So like in that way, she can like bring us together like by organizing activities. A lot of times we'll have like a little huddle-ish kind of thing like after and before our match, and they'll just kind of like tell us like what good things we did and how we like work really well together. And yeah.
So the coaches kind of inspire you guys to come a little bit closer in the tennis realm. That's awesome. And it's very similar in a lot of other sports, you know, the huddles, as you guys were mentioning, it's a big thing in football, it's a big thing in volleyball. And would you think that those huddles, whenever you're having maybe a rough match or a rough day, getting in that huddle can help you kind of recalibrate your mind and focus more on what's at hand than maybe, I don't know, a bad hit that you had previously? Do those huddles kind of help you get in the right mindset for the next games to come?
Yeah, 100%. It just really focused me in on the next game and makes me excited to play tennis again. Like no matter if I was having a bad day or if I made a bad shot, it just makes me excited to go play tennis again and play more.
Yeah, same.
Cool. Focusing back to you guys as individuals, as tennis is an individual sport at its core, what were some of the best matches that you've had this year or maybe in the past years of playing tennis that have really inspired you to keep going in your tennis career? Maybe something that was your turning point, like, oh yeah, this is my sport. Can you think of any matches that have that inspiring atmosphere that's carried you to this day?
Not a specific game, but I just like know that like in any match where the player that I'm playing is better than I am, I just like get really competitive. I'm like, oh no, they're not beating me. Or like, well, Lincoln kind of knows this. Yeah. And then I just like have this mindset locked into my brain, and it just like makes me like, either it makes me better or it makes me worse. But like if they're better than you and you know they're gonna win, then you have nothing to lose. You can only get better from then on out. Just because you win a match doesn't mean it was a good game. So I feel like matches where you're playing someone who's like your skill level better than you, I've always like enjoyed that and look forward to those games.
It's more competitive, right? And that brings kind of that fire to the match, which honestly, that makes total sense. Like, you know, whenever Red Mountain plays Mountain View, it's super heated, it's super competitive. And so in tennis, it's kind of the same thing, you know, having that competitive aspect makes everything more fun. What about you, Lincoln?
I would say any game where I get to the net and I'm just like, I'm warm and I'm moving fast, I love those games because I feel like I accomplished something. Especially, nothing feels better than when you spike the ball and it goes over the fence. Like you hit it off the ground and it just soaring over after hitting a good shot. Nothing feels better than that. So any game where I can get to the net and play, it's a fun game. It inspires me to keep playing.
It's kind of like a haha in your face moment.
Not really that. It's like, haha, yes, I did it. Like, finally.
I see. And speaking kind of competitions and rivalries, what are some rivalries that the tennis team has, boys and girls, maybe that aren't so traditional with Red Mountain? Like, obviously, we're all going to fight with Mountain View. It's kind of our thing. But what are some maybe team rivalries that you guys have, especially with some school or another school, because of maybe something that happened in the past?
I would say Brophy, especially for boys. We get killed by them every year, so our coach is always like, "Okay, guys, this is the year." And this year we got a point off of them because for scoring, it's the varsity plays. For scoring, each game is a point, so you have the 6 singles and then the 3 doubles. So we got a point off of them for the first time in 14 years, and coach was so excited because Brophy's really, really good at tennis. But
well, yeah, they're all the prep kids. What else do you think they do? They probably play tennis and like polo, and that's it.
Yeah, and their entire life is just tennis. So, but we got a point off of them, and that felt amazing. That's a really big rivalry.
What about the girls' side?
I don't think there's anything out of the usual. I mean, like, we, at the beginning of this year, played a bunch of, like, the really good teams, College Prep, Xavier, Desert Mountain, and I would say, like, we were all really excited to play them, and there's no, like, it's not like we felt like we had to beat them. Yeah, nothing out of the usual, just Mountain View.
Just Mountain View.
Just Mountain View.
Yeah. Throws down.
Oh, yes.
Now, focusing again on the individual, you guys as athletes, but more on the student side of things. So, you guys are both sophomores, right? It's one of the hardest years of high school. Between sophomore and junior year, it gets really tough. And especially with the classes that you guys are taking. Oh, poor Lincoln. The classes that you guys are taking are definitely challenging. So, how do you balance that kind of homework practice life, especially when it gets rough into the season with your AP tests and your practices?
It's hard. I would say sometimes I just have to suck it up and do it on the bus, like if we're going on an away game, and then have to just be able to lock in for like an hour and be able to get everything done, because otherwise I'm not getting it done.
Yep, same. Honestly, procrastination's a big thing for me. So, like, during tennis matches, I'll be like, oh, I should probably do my homework with the break that I have right now. Nope, I don't do it. But that's okay, because I'll just, like, go home, work on homework, and hopefully get it done.
And go to bed at 12 a.m.
Yeah, basically.
Do you guys have any tips for any other student athletes that might be struggling with the same homework practice life? We love to ask any athlete that comes on here because everybody always has so many different approaches to it. You know, they have the do it in class, they have the do it at homework, and they're all so different and they apply to everyone. And especially with hard workloads like you guys, that you guys can give very insightful commentary onto what are some maybe tips or tricks that other student athletes should focus on to kind of mitigate their homework problems.
I would say that a lot of times I fall in the trap of thinking like, oh, I only have 15 minutes, I can't do anything. But really just working for those 15 minutes on a homework assignment can help you go a long way, because it'll help you like stop wasting time, and it can get everything done so you're not so behind.
Yeah, and like you said, like working in class, last semester, I did no homework in class. Like with the extra time, I kind of just like talk to friends and stuff, and then I would get home and I have a bunch of homework. But this semester, I kind of really had to work in class, and as I did that and like worked on my homework until the bell rang, I found myself less stressful. I had way less homework to do, and yeah, just don't be afraid to like sacrifice your friend time, including lunch, honestly. Like sometimes I like work on homework during lunch if I have to, and yeah, to be able to like decrease that homework load in studying.
And really, you don't really have to sacrifice the friend time, because if your friends know you, they'll be there for you even after you're done with your homework.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So, do it in class, everyone. One thing that is probably the best thing to ask all student athletes is any stories that they've had from this season or past seasons that they love to share, and stories that they'll remember for the rest of their lives, stories that they'll tell their kids when they're in high school and say, guess what I did in high school? So, today, I was wondering if you could share some of those stories with the podcast, with our listeners, and maybe give some more insights into the world of tennis.
So bus rides are crazy. They're very, very crazy. And last year we had a student named Madsen, and basically, so we went to dinner at Culver's, and they got like a large cup of root beer, right?
Right.
And they they took off their socks. He took off his socks, dunked them in, and started a soda-soaked sock fight.
What?
So they were literally just randomly at random times, someone would like have their sock and then just sling it at somebody like across the bus. And it just hit them, and it was wet, and it was stinky, and you kind of just had to duck for cover and then throw back, like, so they wouldn't throw it back at you.
That's
So
kind of gross.
What is wrong with boys golf?
it was
Or
disgusting.
tennis?
It was a lot of fun though, but it was definitely interesting. It was a weird night that night.
Your night. What happened to that kid that started it all?
He kept playing tennis, and then he graduated last year. So.
Huh. Interesting.
Our coach kind of sits at the front of the bus, and we sit in the back, so he kind of has no idea what goes on.
And what about the side of girls' tennis? Anything fun or unique?
Like Leon said, the bus rides, they're really fun. We usually blast music on the bus, and sometimes we'll sing to it, we'll talk and chat. And I would say, if anything, like the bus rides to and from meets are probably going to be really memorable.
Fun bus rides.
Yeah.
Where you guys get to have bonding time or wet sock throwing time.
Yes.
No.
It was...
Girls' tennis should adopt the wet sock throwing. What do
You think so?
I think so. I
I
think it would
think everybody would be very angry.
Maybe
Yeah.
everybody would be very happy.
Especially when you're sticky afterwards. It's
Yes. No. We're not going to do
maybe
that.
it'll cool you off. Think about it.
Cool us off?
Yeah, like taking your sock.
Yeah, the bus has pretty good air conditioner. Can't really refuse that, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Just an idea.
Yeah, I'll ask. I'm sure they'll find it very fun.
They will. Before we have to wrap it up, guys, there is a little tradition on the podcast. Don't worry, Christina. It involves some trivia. Why do you guys look like you're going to a funeral? It'll be okay. And you guys have no choice to accept. And do you guys want to play some trivia?
Yes.
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, I'll explain the rules. You will have 10 seconds to answer a question after I ask it. And if you answer correctly, you get 3 points. And if not, you get nothing. There will be 3 regular questions worth 3 points and a bonus question worth 5 points. And at the end of this season, the sport that has the most points in sports trivia will win a Spring Sports Trivia Bragging Rights Trophy. It's a real thing. I'm working on it. Currently, boys volleyball is winning with 6 points. Do you guys think you can beat them?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Gotta believe in yourself,
Love the
you
confidence.
know? All about the mindset.
Yes, it's all about the mindset. All right, let's get to it. This tennis player shares a name with the second planet from the sun, with the hottest surface temperature of all planets in our solar system. Who is this tennis player?
I know this. Bro, it's a girl.
You can answer.
It's a girl. Venus Williams.
This is correct. You guys get 3 points. Okay, this is the next question. What New York borough, also seen on playing cards, is the U.S. Open held in annually? If you guys are unclear, like what a borough is, it's like Brooklyn, Queens, like that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. You should take one. I don't want.
Take it. I don't know.
I don't know.
You guys have to agree on an answer.
What do you think?
I have no clue. I was gonna say something about Queens, because like about playing cards. What were you saying?
Yeah, Queens. I'm down with Queens.
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 Boom.
This is correct.
Ooh.
All right. You guys have 6 points right now. You guys are tied with boys volleyball, so if you can keep it up, you guys will beat them. Next question. A common theme for February 14th. This is also a term for a score of 0 in tennis. What is this term?
Love.
This is correct. Now you guys have 9 points. You guys are currently in first place for the Spring Sports Insider. And this is the last question. This is the bonus question worth 5 points.
Okay.
So let's see if you guys can get it. Born in Belgrade, Serbia in 1987, this man has won the most Grand Slam titles in men's singles as of 2024. Who is this man?
I got no clue.
Oh man, I used to know this.
Lock in your answer. Any
I
name
don't
works.
know.
Nikojevic? I don't know
The
the
last
first
name or the first name?
Last name.
Was the last name is what again?
Nikojevic. I can't say it. But
Nikojevic?
yeah.
That's incorrect. It's actually Novak Djokovic.
Oh my gosh.
I was close.
It was so close.
So close.
I just combined the two names.
yes. So, you guys ended with 9 points, which puts you in first place for the Spring Sports Insider. So, currently you guys are winning. Round of applause.
This is great.
Yes, so thank you guys so much for being here. It was lovely to get to talk to you guys more about tennis. And, this season, you guys are barely even starting, so hopefully you guys will sweep the competition and get Red Mountain a title. So,
yeah, we're gonna win.
Some trophies. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Gotta beat Mountain View.
Today.
It's today,
It's
right?
today.
Today.
Oh, wow.
It's today.
Oh, just so everybody knows, we're filming on Thursday, April 3rd, so after this is released, you guys will know if they beat Mountain View, which they will.
Yeah, of course we will.
Predict in the future
we lost
already.
last year.
We don't need to know that. It's fine. So thank you guys again for being here, and hope your season goes well.
Thank you.
Everyone, that was Christina Westover and Lincoln Hall from tennis. Boys tennis's next game is on April 8th at Mesa High at 3:30 p.m. And girls tennis next match is also on April 8th versus Mesa at home at 3:30 p.m. Make sure to come out and support your RMHS tennis team. Well, listeners, that's it for this week's episode. We heard some great stories and got great insight on tennis with athletes Christina Westover and Lincoln Hall. Coming up, next time on the Spring Sports Insider, softball. Tune in next time to get all the insights on the softball team here at the Red Mountain Radio. Thanks again for tuning in to episode 15, season 4 of the Sports Insider, featuring Christina Westover and Lincoln Hall. Thanks to them for joining me today. You can follow us on Instagram at Red Mountain Radio, spelled REDMTNRADIO, to receive updates on episode drops and fun behind-the-scenes insights. I'm your host, Brooklyn Anaya, and thanks again for joining me for this Sports Insider episode. Today's episode was written by Brooklyn Anaya. Our directors are Brooklyn Anaya and Connor Sampson. Our producers are Mr. Kelly from RMTV, Brooklyn Anaya, and Connor Sampson. Our sound engineer is Connor Sampson, and thanks to Connor Sampson for mixing and editing the sound. Thanks to our special guests for this episode, Christina Westover and Lincoln Hall. Thanks to them for joining me today. And last, but certainly not least, thanks to you, listener, for tuning in. Your support is what keeps us making episodes. This was Season 4, Episode 15 of the Sports Insider on tennis by the Red Mountain Radio. What's the punchline? What should we say? Caleb, do you want to say a punchline?
Me say a punchline?
Yeah. Say punchline.
Baba Booey.